glad she said that. When you share, people are so there's always someone who can relate, right? Everyone can relate, actually. So, yeah, please don't hesitate to share. Colette, would you like to share how you're doing?
Sure. Thank you. I'm doing great. I just got back from a big biking trip in Pacific Grove. So my biggest, so I was biking, 2 to 3 hours a day. And the biggest challenge to go down to Pacific Grove was to prepare for a road trip and eat the right things. So I furiously tried to come up with a shake before I left, and that was a bit of a chaotic experience. Um, so I had to put, five shakes in a cooler and allowed myself to quote eat out for dinner, and that was a challenge because I had to bring home a lot of the starch. I ate the fish, I ate the vegetables, but I didn't, eat the starch. So traveling and this program is a challenge, but I'd like to say it can be done. I haven't weighed myself in 3 days, but this is not a weight management program. I did stay on point for the most part. So I'll do that tomorrow morning. And I do have some issues with the taste of the shakes. I added a little chocolate to the vegetable.
Yes, good idea.
Vegetable sweetness, and I added a little stevia, which I think is acceptable sugar substitute, I think, versus some of the other ones that end in OSE. I think we're almost halfway through, so I'll be glad to complete the program. It's a bit of an effort, but it does take a lot of discipline, but I think in the end it's probably worth it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I definitely think it's definitely worth it if you can really stick through to the end.
And Colette, like, how fantastic that you were able to stay so committed and focused. And even though it's challenging, that you were really like committed to it. So give yourself a pat in the back for that, and that you were able to travel. And then, what we'll be talking a little bit about next week, we'll be discussing like what to do when you travel. I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. To make it a little bit easier, and what are the non-negotiables, right? Where you can start looking at what are your non-negotiables that you're sticking with no matter what, and how do you make it more easeful to be able to still continue to feel great, follow it, but not to make it a stressful situation, because that's what we're trying to move away from, right? Is really trying to get away from the stress of all of it.
I must say it's difficult to drink all that water if you're stuck in traffic on Highway 1 and 880 or 680. So it's not a perfect.
Exactly. He breaks between doors on the side of the road.
Barry and I were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were.
Being stuck in traffic,
right.
And having to go to the bathroom.
Oh. Even at night, like I'm sleeping through the night because I'm not drinking or whatever else I was doing that was bad, like having caffeine. But now I have to wake up and go to the bathroom, but I can fall back asleep again, which is nice.
Awesome. And that's where, if you can start to make sure that you're trying to get all of your water in before 7 p.m., that can be helpful. But also part of the detox, right, is that you may be peeing more frequently because it's one of the ways the body eliminates toxins. I've found since I've been doing the detox supplements again, even though I'm stopping drinking early, I'm still peeing way more often than I have. And that's, again, just a sign that the body's doing what it should be doing. But at least you're falling back to sleep. Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
Barbara can't get in. She doesn't have the right link. So let me just pull that up for her. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and is there anyone else? Are we going to go through, Kat, since I got on a little later? Are we going through and letting everyone share? Or are we going to just answer questions?
What would you like to do? I have to grab Barbara the link. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't, why don't we can kind of intersperse them. I'm going to answer some questions just so we make sure that we get them all through all the
Okay.
questions. One of the questions was from Janet, and she was just saying she wanted to know what was in the supplement packs, because she didn't recall the first time we did this, that they were doing the supplement packs. And so, you know, the Veggie Cleanse Plus essentially has your multivitamin, your minerals, all of your blood sugar support, and then veggie and fruit proprietary blend, as well as almost all of your detox support that you need. And so that's what the Veggie Cleanse does. And then you have the Amino Detox, which is getting into the specific amino acids. If you recall last week, we put up the liver slide, and when we put the liver slide up, where there are all these specific compounds that the liver needs for phase 1 and phase 2 detox. Amino Detox has every amino acid, both essential and non-essential, that is needed to speed up and support that those detox pathways. Specifically, definitely, you know, if you're more on the vegetarian side of things like methionine and taurine and glycine can be really low in you. So these help with that. And then the last one is the hydrozyme, and that is a proprietary blend of enzymes. So yeah, Kat has the slide up, and you're looking in those green boxes and can see all of the compounds. And then if you look in the back of your Veggie Cleanse, the Amino Detox, and then the enzyme is just a pancreatic enzyme to assist in breaking down, right, all the nutrition that you're taking in, to ensure that your pancreas is actually, if your pancreas is not optimized, which many of us don't have optimized pancreatic enzyme production, that we're breaking it down properly so that you get to absorb all of these amazing nutrients as it comes in the body. So that was one of the questions I just wanted to address. Super helpful. If you do find that you are more gassy, it could be the paleo greens, right? So this was another question that came up, was about, oh my gosh, I'm so gassy. And so one of the things, you can skip the Amino Detox. The Amino Detox, I believe, are the 3 little white pills. You can skip those and see if that helps, because it may be if there's a yeast or candida or bacterial overgrowth, you may be having some reaction to that. Otherwise, you can also, if you take that out and you're still gassy, maybe back off a little bit on the Veggie Cleanse. Instead of using a full scoop, maybe use a half a scoop. I love that Colette has already gotten creative with the Veggie Cleanse, because what I'll do is I'll actually add in the Arbonne protein, which is a chocolate vegan protein that's great, sweet, and add that to the Veggie Cleanse. If you don't have that, you can add a tablespoon or 2 of cacao. You can add a little bit of sweetener if you want. I usually would do like a little bit of a green banana as sweetener instead of stevia to help with the taste, and it can make a really significant difference. I also like adding a little bit more protein to make more of a meal. Okay, so that was 2 of the questions that I had.
Yeah. So, you know, when you are feeling some of those detox symptoms, then what you can also do, I'm sorry, Carrie, if you already said this, but so you back off, but also like, so instead of having 2 shakes a day, have 1, right? Or if you really need to, then just back off completely on the shakes and start just doing the food for a few days to a week. Just do the food side of this. So it basically is essentially an elimination diet where you're eliminating all of those things on the avoid list and incorporating more and more of the other foods. And then once your body has gotten a little stronger, then you can start adding in 1 shake a day with the detox pack. And then after a few days, if it feels good, then you add in the 2nd shake. Okay. So just go low and go slow. Right? Go low and go slow. Okay. Yeah. So these are just some of the symptoms that you can experience with these detox or die-off reactions. Essentially what a die-off reaction is, when we're trying, when it's more targeted, but you can have die-off reactions even if it's not targeted. But what I mean by targeted is like we're really going after a parasite or candida, yeast or bacteria. So we're really going after those with an elimination diet as well as maybe certain supplements. Those types of supplements are not included in this detox, but the fact that you're doing an elimination diet is kind of already targeting these things, like and incorporating more of the food, like especially certain vegetables and certain herbs, that starts to kill these off, because these types of diets are antimicrobial, antifungal type of diet. And so what can happen then is when these bugs, these pathogens like yeast, parasites and bacteria, what they do is this biofilm that's around them, it's like this protective layer of film over the colonies of these things inside your body, that starts breaking up. And then the membranes of those bugs start to fall apart too. And then those are released into your symptoms. And then those are released into your system. And then that can cause these types of symptoms because your body is launching an immune response against those things. And so for certain people that have compromised digestive systems, when you start releasing these back into your system, as well as the toxins that you have stored, then if you have if your digestive system is compromised, then you're going to start feeling more symptoms than someone else who doesn't necessarily have those same digestive issues. Okay, so we're all different. We all have a different amount of money in our bank account. We have a different amount of resiliency, resources in our body. And so that's why some people feel these symptoms, some people don't. So just back off, go low and go slow. That's our motto.
And Kat, one of the things I'd love to add is even if all of us have some level of compromised digestion, unfortunately. But even if your digestive tract is working well, sometimes just as you're starting to withdraw from some of the foods that you're used to eating, like sugar, right? Like alcohol, like caffeine, you may be having some of the withdrawal symptoms that are going to mimic die-off symptoms as well. And die-off, again, most of us, die-off is just going to be when the body gets overwhelmed with toxins and we're not able to metabolize them and get them out quickly enough. So a lot of the times, most of you, if you have experienced this, there have been a couple of people who said, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Oh my gosh, I'm achy. It should only be the first 3 to 5 days. However, it's really important and amazing information that if you are having some significant die-off, right, that's information where your body's saying, hey, have you been paying attention? If you haven't been paying attention, are you paying attention now?
That's right.
Right? Are you paying attention now? And it's going to show up as fatigue, maybe as headaches, body aches and pains, skin breakouts, mood symptoms, anxiety, increased anxiety and depression, respiratory issues, increased GI upset, and flu-like symptoms. This is real. The purpose of all the detox support we're providing you with, like the veggie cleanse and the greens and the detox support supplements and the liver gallbladder, is to minimize this, right? To make sure you have the compounds that your body can utilize to make this a more easeful process. But I would say just take note, right? Take note and start to recognize if the body is responding in this way, it's trying to get your attention. And it's time to kind of take an inventory of, have you been abusing your body? Have you been pushing too hard? Have you been ignoring? Have you been present? And I feel like part of, for me in this process, even with all the education and have done this so many different times, it has been really beautiful to allow me to come back and bring some intentionality to what I'm eating, to be present with what I'm eating, to be grateful for like, oh my gosh, I'm finding all of these foods that are food upgrades that are nourishing and delicious, and making sure I'm incorporating them in so I still feel inspired. Okay. Thanks, Kat.
Yeah, thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure. Did Barbara get in?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
There you are. Okay, wonderful. Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Hey, she made it.
Hey.
Hi, Susan.
Yay.
So good to see all of you guys on.
Yes, it's really good to see you guys.
Is there anyone else that had, hi Janet, that had some questions that they wanted to have addressed? I know, if you're feeling hungry, that's another one. Don't suffer. If you're feeling die-off symptoms, don't suffer, because there are things to help balance this out. You should not be feeling hungry. You may need to, I know one of our cleansers had reached out and was just having the paleo cleanse in water for dinner, and didn't realize, like, oh, wait, you can have a meal. Like, if you're just going to do the paleo cleanse in water, then you can have a meal too, right? Or you're going to make the paleo cleanse a meal by adding in your fats, by adding in some veg, by adding in, a base that's going to give you a little bit more calories, and then maybe also adding in some additional protein on top of that, so that you're actually getting meal. Because I don't know about you guys, doing the paleo cleanse in water, there is no way that I'm going to be satiated with that. There is no way I'm going to feel deprived. I'm going to feel pissed off. I'm going to be mad that we're doing this. And so that's not what we're wanting to get to. We're wanting to get to the place of, like, wow, I'm feeling back in control again. Wow, I'm feeling good in my body. Wow, I'm being able to feel inspired again to find foods that maybe I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I think it's really about, do I feel nourished? Like, do you feel nourished? That's what we want to learn how to do, right? Mind, body, and emotions. Are we nourishing ourselves, truly nourishing ourselves?
And the first week it takes an adjustment. Sometimes even the first 2 weeks takes an adjustment. And then once you get into like week 3 and 4, we're only doing a 14-day, is when you start going, oh, like, I feel really good incorporating one of these shakes. For me, it's usually mid-afternoon snack. And then I like having 3 meals. But my meals can be intentional. They can be focused completely around this program, which makes it easeful, nourishing, and very doable. And again, we'll talk about that, because I know that was one of Colette's questions. We'll talk about that next week, about like transitioning. What does that look like to make this sustainable?
Yeah. Well, that'll be definitely the topic next week. So does anybody want to either share your experience or any questions right now? We'd love to hear from you. No?
Okay.
Some people already shared earlier in the call. Nope.
Oh,
You sure?
I'll jump in.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm behind everybody else because we were away last weekend up in Healdsburg, and sorry, but I just was not gonna sacrifice our first little outing as a family. So I started Monday morning. I had some of the symptoms that Carrie was talking about, the headache, sort of the fatigue, but today for me is day 4. And I think even yesterday, the headache started easing. Today I've had no headache. Couple of pounds have dropped.
Yay.
But I just feel, I feel cleaner inside. I don't know if that's, and it's hard to explain, but I just feel cleaner and I guess stronger somehow. So I'm really enjoying it. I've been able to keep up the exercise. My fatigue has really been kind of in the afternoon when I'm sitting in front of the computer working and feeling low energy, and in the evening. But like tonight, I feel quite energized, like way more than I have the last couple of nights. So I feel like something is definitely working, which is great. It's very exciting.
Yay.
I will tell you, I sent a note to Kat. I really don't love the shakes. The taste is too sweet for me. So if anybody has any tips on how to make the shakes more
palpable,
a little bit. Yeah. But
I would add some cacao. I would add cacao. 1 or 2 tablespoons of cacao.
I'm using some vegan chocolate protein powder, and it's okay, but I think it's the berry that's getting me.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Honestly, I don't like them either. I always get the chocolate flavor. It doesn't come in the kit, but you can buy 2 separate things. You can buy the detox support packs, which is the little packets on the side, and then you can buy the paleo cleanse plus in a chocolate flavor. So if you want to go another 2 weeks, what I would suggest is to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And or the Arbonne protein, which we've done historically, which is sweeter. If you don't want sweeter, cacao just cuts it a little bit rather than adding in, another sweet protein. and
Yeah.
it does cut that vanilla, that berry flavor a little bit. Otherwise,
Okay.
doing Arbonne protein really does add, you add 1 scoop and it really makes it more palatable.
Yeah, it's
Palatable.
long term. That's a good protein. I always mix that. I mix 1 scoop of Arbonne with the 1 scoop of the Designs for Health protein, the chocolate, and it's such a good combination. People love my shakes.
Yeah, yeah, much
love
better.
it.
So we'll send a link out to you guys if you
Oh,
want
that would be great.
Arbonne.
Yeah.
Because it's just a nice, and it's the shake that hands down, from a sustainability, if you want to be able to continue just a protein shake, that it's the one that kids love. It's the one that grandparents love. It's the one that it tastes the best out of anyone for the last, 12 years of doing this. People love it.
Yeah.
And they'll continue to use that as kind of a meal replacement. And then maybe just like a half of the veggie cleanse, if you're wanting to do a little maintenance after this.
Yeah. And kids love it. If you have kids that are athletes, it's really good for them too.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing too, I'm usually not the cook in our household. My husband does all the cooking, but he's gone and he's traveling now. So I've been making the kids some of the meals that are, prescribed in the program. And they're like, I did the salmon and foil with the over veggies with just some olive oil, and lemon juice. They loved it. My daughter tonight cooked a sort of a turkey, bolognese sauce, and they had it over squash, spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
And they're enjoying it too, which is nice. And I've really enjoyed that the menus are very easy. So I'm doing them at lunchtime.
Oh,
But
good.
adapting a few for the kids at night, and they're fast, they're easy, really clean, fresh, really, really nice.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to those of you who are on Facebook, I've been posting, but some of the food finds that I use that I absolutely love, and I just decided to bring them out. One are these little crepini wraps. I got these at Costco. They're egg wraps. They've got all of 1 carbohydrate. They're like a crepe, and they're amazing for wraps. If you're wanting to make a wrap with them, they're delicious. You feel nourished. If you're like, I really am missing a sandwich, these are amazing. They can be used as a snack. I got them at Costco. You can get them on Instacart. I know also Sprouts have the smaller ones. And it's just a nice way to feel like, feel a little nourished if you're really feeling like I want a sandwich and I'm not going to be putting it on bread right now. The other thing I found, this is the first time I've ever, are these keto crackers. They're made of pumpkin seeds, coconut, sunflower seeds, almonds, and hemp seeds. And they are divine. These are Inno Foods, and I got those at Costco as well. And then the other two, are jicama wraps. These are delicious now. They're not organic, which is the one downside. You can buy organic jicama at Whole Foods. I have not perfected the art of using a mandolin to get your jicama as amazingly thin. Look at these. And these are amazing for tacos.
Yeah.
I made little street tacos.
We had them the other night. They were great.
Turkey and a little slaw with some avocado and a little bit of pickled onion and pickled beets. And they stay together. They hold. So, and then a whole big thing of slaw on the side. Those are amazing. Whole Foods has them. Trader Joe's has them as well. And then these I haven't done. I've had clients that have done these. I think Barbara is on the call, and I think she's done the miracle noodles before. These are miracle noodles, and they're basically super, super low carb, delicious. And I haven't done them yet, but I've heard they have a consistency like noodles. So you could do that with a stir fry if you wanted to do. But those are just some, because part of this, if you're just eliminating and you're not incorporating in new recipes and you're not incorporating new foods, it's going to feel restrictive and it's going to feel punishing. And that's what we want to move away from. So just wanted to share some of those things with you guys.
Yeah, to add, Carrie, if you're using the miracle noodles, just make sure to rinse them very well, because
thanks,
they
Barbara.
have a sort of an off taste if you don't do that. But if you rinse them very well, you think you're having pasta. It even works with like a good
like, I think, I can't remember your name, but she talked about having turkey bolognese, and I've done that with Miracle noodles, and it works great. So
Awesome. Thanks, Barbara. Barbara is our resident. She has been doing a Candida diet for months. She is probably one of the most amazing clients that I've had, who has taken things in stride and found amazing products and amazing recipes and gotten super creative. And so she's been able to maintain this and sustain this for, Barbara, how many months have you done this now?
since 6 months.
Wow.
6 months. Yeah. 6
Yeah,
months.
she was telling me she was doing almond flour and tortillas with, you made enchiladas. Is that right?
Yeah, they were great. With chicken and spinach, and just make like a white sauce, but I use almond flour instead of regular white flour, and it works beautifully. A little butter when you can have, well, we can have butter, and when you can have cream or milk. I think you could use almond milk too, but I didn't. I did use cream when I did my enchilada sauce. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or want to share?
Ways we can get into some of the detox rituals that you guys get to start experimenting with if you haven't already, to really start building and creating what Kat had said last time, this foundation, right? Foundational life to create a nourishing lifestyle that's supportive. And Kat, what did you say earlier about detox? About kind of what it signifies? You recall about being in harmony or out of harmony with your body?
Yeah, I mean, just symptoms are just telling you, are you in harmony or are you not in harmony, right? So anytime you experience a symptom, it's like the universe is going ding, 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 ding. Something's not in harmony here, right? So what is it? What is it you're doing? Is it that you're not eating well, you're not chewing your food, you're not being present, right? Is it some emotional thing that's going on? Is it physical or is it non-physical? Is it mental, emotional, or is it some physical habit that you're doing? Mental emotional behaviors are also habits, but it's just the universe's way of saying, pay attention, what's going on here? There's something you need to be paying attention to. So basically, these detox rituals are things that we'd love if you could start incorporating into your life, because this will allow your body to detox all the time, and not just the physical body, but also the mind and the emotions, because the mind and the emotions are always affecting the physical body, and vice versa. The physical body is always affecting the mind and emotions. So when you've got a lot of negative thought patterns going on, you're turning on chemistry in the body that's going to cause the body to break down and not be able to physically detox as well. So when you incorporate these lifestyle rituals, these detox rituals, you create an environment where your body has the resources to do what it knows how to do, right? Your body's highly intelligent. It knows how to take care of you. It knows how to make you feel like you're thriving, but you just have to provide the right conditions. So when you incorporate these, you allow the body to do that. So we thought we'd kind of go through each one, not necessarily in any order here. So the first one.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
yeah, the first one is just nutrition, right? So giving the body proper nutrition. So we put up that slide a little bit earlier showing how your body, how your liver detoxes. And your body, there's many ways that the body's detoxing, but your liver is one of the major ones. And there's really 3 steps in that. That's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 3 is elimination. Phase 1 and phase 2 are reactions that are happening in the body. And they need proper nutrients. All 3 of those phases need proper nutrients from your food, right? From your food, and also that you're not so stressed in order to do their job. And some of the ways to stimulate those detox pathways is to incorporate healthy, clean food. But unfortunately, in our environment today, we have a highly toxic, polluted environment. And I don't want to strike fear in you, but what I want you to come away with is, what can I control? Like, I can't control the quality of air, and I can't necessarily control the quality of water, everywhere I am, right? I can get filtered water, but then who knows if that's even that clean, right? But what I can control is the amount of toxins that are coming into me. So I can buy organic, I can wash my food, I can eat clean sources of meat, right? So grass-fed, organic meat, right? So I can choose these things. I can not marinate my food in plastic, right? So how many people marinate their food in plastic? This is very common to do, marinate meat in plastic, right? Those plasticizers, the more flimsy the plastic, the more those plasticizers, those plastic molecules leach into the food, and they're fat soluble. So when you're marinating meat in plastic, especially that flimsy plastic, the Glad bags that we use, that's leaching into the fat, and then you're ingesting that. Okay, so also like Tupperware, the more flimsy the Tupperware, the more it's going to leach into your food, especially if the food has fat in it. Don't heat your food in the microwave in plastic. And when we take saran wrap to cover our food and the food is hot and it also has fat in it, those plasticizers are leaching into the food, right? Drinking out of plastic bottles, all of these kinds of things we can control. We can buy clean personal care products, right? So clean shampoos, clean skincare products, so that we are taking control of what we can control and reducing the number of toxins there. And then also making sure we're eating really nourishing foods so that these detox pathways can run. Does that make sense? So these are some of the tips to you want to reduce incoming toxins. And then this is just a study that came out in around 2015. And they wanted to determine if nutrition could modulate toxicity. And what they found was that suboptimal or unhealthy nutrition does indeed make toxins more toxic to us. And that when we are nourished, when we do have healthful nutrition, it does decrease the,
You just cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I'm not sure what you heard there, but what part did you hear?
You were good. It was just a moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they found that when you were nourished, when you did have good nutrition, it decreased the pro-inflammatory effects of toxins. Okay, so you can, by controlling the amount of toxins that you have in your body, you can mitigate toxicity. And this is really kind of why, we saw so many different, a broad spectrum of the way people responded to COVID, right? Because it all determines on how nourished we are. It's all determined on how much we have in our bank account, right? How much resources we have in our bank account. That determines our resiliency. So another thing that we can do is, when we eat, right? When you eat can be just as important as what you eat. Okay. So what time of days you're eating. When you're eating late in the night, you're not allowing, so each of our body system's organs are operating and doing certain things at night. And if we are eating meals late into the night, then they can't do that, especially the liver. The liver is really important and does over 500 biological processes in the body. So its time of nourishment, I believe, is like between 1 and 3. Carrie, is that right?
Yes. Yep.
So if you've eaten a meal late, then the liver can't do the jobs that normally we would be doing at night if it's processing the food that you have in your stomach still. Okay. So intermittent fasting or fasting is one way of improving longevity and other processes in the body. So we don't have a food scarcity problem anymore. It's really, modern day man's biggest stressor is eating too much food and not nourishing foods, right? So these are, they don't have enough nutrients in them because of a lot of our farming practices, which I talked about which we talked about in our first talk. So this study found that, numerous studies have found that intermittent fasting, or like an energy deficient because of intermittent fasting, can be considered a hormetic stimulus or a hormetic stressor, which basically means there's an adaptive response that leads to an increased activation of your cellular protection and restoration mechanisms. So there's different ways you can do this, but I find the easiest way is this: stop eating past 7. Don't eat past 7 p.m. Go to bed and then don't eat again till the morning. And then that's a good anywhere from 12. If you wake up at 7, that's 12 hours easy. And if you don't eat again till like 9, that's 14 hours, or 10, that's 15 hours. So there's a lot of research on this. You can go and look. I think that's the easiest thing to do that most anybody can really do. The only way I wouldn't do the more stringent fasting techniques is if you're just not nourished enough, if you're not healthy. If you're healthy and you can go long periods of times without getting that hangry feeling, then I would say if you want to do a little bit of fasting where you're restricting meals for 24 hours or 48 hours, maybe that's okay. But until you're there, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, let me just add one thing on intermittent fasting. One of the things that people, with intermittent fasting, and again, we can maybe answer some questions about this further, maybe next time, but is that it does increase your stress response. So some people are like, wow, I feel so much more energized. And it's because the body is pumping out a lot of cortisol. So as Kat said, just to reiterate, the healthier you are, the healthier your adrenal response are, the healthier, more balanced your cortisol is, the healthier and more balanced your blood sugar is. You can use this as a powerful tool for helping lower disease risk factors, a lot of times going into something called autophagy, but it has to be used as a tool. I'm seeing people come in who've been fasting every day for months and months, and I will tell you the amount that I am seeing in terms of the stress that has been placed on the body for that amount of time. We're going to be spending years trying to undo it. So again, it really should be used as a tool.
Yeah, so these are some, when you do it, you're doing a true cellular. There's my Spencer. You're really doing a true cellular detox. And so these are basically some of the things that's happening when you do intermittent fasting. And Carrie, do you want to speak to this, or did you already get it?
Yeah, sure. So autophagy is essentially when the body is going around and cells are like Pac-Man. It's going and finding the damaged cells, disease cells that are supposed to basically self-destruct on their own. And so it's when the cells start to self-destruct, and these are damaged cells. So it's like cellular cleanup. Generally, it takes place between 16 and 24 hours after eating. It will ramp up after 2 days. So again, it can be a very powerful tool when done properly, but you can't just start jumping into this without some foundational nourishment, without strong adrenal response. And most of us, I'd say again, just needs a little coaching around this. But again, it's just nice to be able to see, okay, this is a tool that could be utilized maybe a couple times a month.
So I'll send out this slide deck so you can click here and you can get this handout. But these are some windows of timing that you could use. But again, what I find is the easiest for me, and I've been practicing this even, I think, before the term intermittent fasting came out. I've just always eaten my meals between 5 and 7 for, I don't know how long, for such a long time, over 20 years. I've always just eaten that early, 5 to 7. And then I wake up at between 5 and 7, and I usually work out and do meditation in the morning, and then I'll eat at sometime after that. So anyway, these are different types of windows, and you can look up more research on this. And if you have any questions, I can send you more information. Okay. This is Carrie's favorite thing to do.
Yes. I'll talk on this one. So again, we're just going to touch on these. We're going to get into the science of a couple other ones, but we'll just start to touch on these for time's sake. But rebounding, you guys, the lymph system does not have a pump. And our lymph system, I talked about it last time, is like our garbage collectors, right? It's collecting viruses and toxins and storing around our armpits and storing it in the groin and inner thighs. Cellulite, right, is a sign that your lymph system, edema is a sign that your lymph system is really overloaded. And so one of the most powerful ways to stimulate the lymph system is through is through rebounding. So it could be jumping, could be dancing, it could be, skipping, it could be jumping rope. It could be doing a Kundalini practice, like just doing jumping jacks is super powerful. You're like pumping your arms, sitting
Yeah.
and doing some Kundalini moves. But it's really powerful. And when we're going to get into body brushing too, rebounding and body brushing, I've changed nothing else and lost 3 pounds. And it literally is just because the body is letting go of those toxins. And I know my lymph system is my weak link. My body odor is definitely much more than it should be. I carry weight around my armpits. Even when I got super, super lean, it was still there, showing that it was my lymphatic system, my inner thighs. I have cellulite. So those are all signs that I know my lymph system needs some additional support. And so that's one of the ways to support it.
These are other signs of sluggish lymphatic system.
Yes.
Can I just ask a quick question, Carrie? When you talk about the jumping or skipping rope, whatever, how often are you recommending doing that? And is it a couple times a day, or what do you think about that?
Even once a day. I mean, a couple times a day would be even more beneficial, right? But if you can do 3 to 5 minutes, and even with like jump rope, you're not going to start with 3 minutes of jump rope, right? Jump rope for 3 minutes, you're going to be dying. And even jumping on a rebounder, depending on, I'll jump on our large trampoline because our rebounder broke. But just being able to, and sometimes it may just be like you're not jumping, but maybe just bouncing a little bit. So you're not actually leaving the ground. The more the G-force, the greater G-force is going to be gravity, right? Coming down on the body. That's why a rebounder is even more effective than like a trampoline. But I would say 3 to 5 minutes, and can be really powerful. And it's just such a great way to get energized, clear out the system, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, right? Because water is going to then help flush. But yeah, it's a great way to do it, and invigorating, and a great way to mix up my Zoom calls all day long.
Yeah, just moving the body is really, really important. I think as women too, there's a lot of breast cancer, right? And what is breast tissue? It's fat, right? So there's a lot of toxins getting stored in the fat tissue around the breasts. So getting your arms up in the air, like patting yourself down, like just, jumping jacks are great because you also have those lymph nodes right there at your inner thighs, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like jumping jacks are just, plyometric type moves. If you don't have a trampoline, do plyometrics. Roll on the floor. One of the things we do in Kundalini yoga is we, are laying down on the floor with our arms by our side, and then we roll our bodies. It's the funniest thing. People just laugh, but it actually really hurts if you have a stagnant lymphatic system. You'll feel it. You can also get like these tools. What's her name? Ashley Black. Is that her name?
Ashley Black, yeah.
Ashley Black has these
Fascia blaster.
The fascia blasters. Those are great too. Just don't do it too hard. I had a friend, my girlfriend used mine, and she was black and blue all over. But she really liked the pain that she was feeling, that hurts so good pain, kind of when you get a massage. She was doing that. Okay. Epsom salt baths. These are a great way to pamper yourself. And this is one of my slides before said, pamper yourself. It's time, because it is really a time and that's what the universe is showing us with these symptoms. It's like, you're not taking care of yourself. Wake up. You're not taking care of yourself. Like tap, 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 tap. Right. And so Epsom salt baths are a great way to just pamper yourself. Find these little ways in your life that you can just be softer and more gentle with yourself. So this is a really good way of increasing the amount of magnesium in your body, and magnesium supports over 300 metabolic processes. It's important for neuromuscular activity, membrane transport, energy production. It supports these 300 different enzymatic processes in your body. And so the easiest way is to take a bath, right, in Epsom salt baths, or magnesium flakes. Is that what you call them, Carrie? Yeah.
Yep.
20 minutes, or soak your feet in warm water with Epsom salt too.
And, it does calm the nervous system.
Yeah.
So it's great wind down activity. the best way to absorb minerals, particularly magnesium, is actually through the skin. And we used to get it by bathing in natural bodies of water, bathing in the ocean, right? And in natural springs, and we're not getting that anymore. So if your digestion's compromised, this is one of the most effective ways. Minerals are the things that take the most amount of time to actually start to increase in our system. So this is something that can be used again, a foot bath or a bath. One of
Yeah,
my
and
favorite.
we're
too.
all really quite deficient in minerals because of the farming practices. So some like glyphosate, that herbicide that's used, is a chelator. So it's pulling the minerals out of the soil, and that's why it starves the weeds, and that's why it's effective at killing the weeds. Okay, and so we're really deficient in minerals, and magnesium is one of them. It's a very common nutrient deficiency these days, is magnesium deficiency. So we kind of touched on dry skin brushing last time. I just wanted to put it in here again, so not to forget. So buy one of these. You can get them on Amazon. I don't know the brand of the one that I have. I don't have it.
Kat, I have yours right here.
Oh, you do? Okay. Is the brand on there?
It says Pop Chews.
Pop Shoes?
Yes. POPCHOSE.
Yeah. So I really like that one. I've had it for over a year now, and it's solid. Sometimes the wood gets bad on these things, but that one, it hasn't. It's really nice. So I do it before I get in the shower. So before my skin is wet, I just, vigorous really rub, and then towards the heart. And my skin, I tend to have dry skin, but my skin has got, and it was definitely starting to show my age. My skin has gotten better, more firm, and it looks less like my age.
Also improved cellulite improvements. Kat, do we have a video on Well World with this?
I think
If
we
not,
do.
maybe-
There's 2 videos,
Okay, good.
actually. I think
Great.
there's 2 videos
Perfect.
on dry brushing
Perfect.
and lymphatic massage. Yeah.
So Kat, we're at about the 12-minute mark.
Okay. So yeah, so some of these I did some posts on, so they're just repeats, these next ones. So I think we want to kind of talk about, well, this was more about the science of cold plunging. Do you want to go into this, or do you want to just do meditation and breath work?
Yeah, we'll do just a quick thing on cold plunging. You can touch on vagus nerve, and then I won't go into all the science. And then we can do meditation and a little nostril breathing.
Okay.
But cold showers, you guys, Wim Hof is really popular, kind of brought to light the power of using cold. He's called the Iceman. He has 26 world records. They thought that he was superhuman. They injected him with endotoxins, and he was able to clear E. coli within 24 hours with very little symptoms. They thought he was superhuman, and he said, no, anyone can do this with the techniques that I train them with. So they trained 12 subjects for 10 days with meditation, with Wim Hof breathing technique, cold plunging, and then they injected them with E. coli. And what they found were every single one of these subjects. So they actually had some subjects that were not allowed to use the techniques that they were trained, to see the impact it had on their nervous system and on their immune system and their bodies. And the other were allowed to use their techniques. And you can see what's happened. You can see me in an ice bath. It was about 39 degrees for 2 minutes. Is that they started having a normalization of their nervous system. They had an activation of their anti-inflammatory system in the body. It lowered pro-inflammatory cytokines. But the big thing is it has a way of stimulating the nervous system. So being able to and what Wim Hof has shown is that you can boost your immune system, you can improve your mental health, relieve stress, improve energy, right? Here's the list all here: deepen your sleep, improve autoimmunity, weight loss. I've seen people who was just doing breathing and cold plunging and anxiety disappeared. But what is amazing is you don't have to sit in a 39-degree tub of ice water. You can just take a cold shower every single day. And Kat, I've witnessed, Kat, how long have you been doing cold showers?
2.5 years.
2.5 years every morning?
Every morning.
And how long do you do your showers for?
So when I first started it, it was harder. It was hard to do, right? And I started it in like January of 2019. And it was hard to take those cold showers. So I would get in and I would just be like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I would just do it. And I just get in. And it was maybe I would stay in there for 30 seconds to a minute. And now I can stay in there until I get warm. So I just let the water hit me, especially right here on the chest. It's so invigorating. And then I let it hit my back. And then I just move it all over my body. And I can stand in there for however long. That now it doesn't bother me. I recently went to Sedona to a retreat, and we were getting up at like 6 in the morning, and I was going down to the creek and just getting in. And this guy was coming with me, this friend of mine at the retreat, and he was getting in, and he would just get in and he would just be shivering the whole time. And I could get in and my body would just adjust and I could sit there for however long. So, and I
So
just
our
I find it so invigorating. To me, it's like better than coffee.
Awesome. So our ask, you can do it at night. Some people find it very calming on the anxiety side. Some people do it in the morning, like Kat, like you're so invigorating, right? I feel like it's more invigorating as well. But so our ask is try it for 30 seconds. What Wim Hof's research has shown is 30 seconds to a 2-minute cold shower is 70% as effective as doing a 2-minute cold plunge in below, 50 degree weather or 50 degree water, or even, 39 to 50 degree water. So 70% as effective for getting all of these benefits. So try it, especially for those of you who decided to cut out caffeine. This may be your new dose of caffeine.
That's right. So one thing you can do to kind of get adjusted is when you get in the shower, let your feet get wet first. So just like put your feet under the water first, and then just jump in. Just let the rest of the body come in. Don't do it slowly, just jump in like a cold when you're getting in the pool. It's just easier just to get it over with. And just look at it like it's fun. Like have the attitude of like, okay, I'm going to do this, and be excited about it. You can really change a lot of things by changing your attitude about it, right?
Can I ask, Kat, if doing that for, let's say a minute or something, and then can you then warm up the water and do the rest of your shower and wash your hair, or does that take away some of the effect?
Yeah. So what I would do is the other way. I would go hot, then cold.
Finish with cold.
Yeah. And that would be easier on you too, to do that.
That was my question as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Go hot, then cold. And you'll see a lot of like these spas too. They have hot tubs, right? They have hot, then a warmer, not so hot, and then they'll have a cold plunge. And that's the order in which they do it. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to we can save some of this for later, or I can send an email out on this, but the vagus nerve is a nerve that starts at the brainstem and it comes up your upper palate and your tongue, down your throat. It touches every organ in your body, all the way down into the colon. And it's central for your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and digest part of your nervous system. And so when you have a good vagal tone, that means that you can activate that part of your nervous system. And a lot of our Western lifestyles are just go, 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 go. So we're in sympathetic overdrive. That's the other part, the opposite part of your nervous system. And so we don't really get to rest and digest. And that's why you're seeing the highest rates of chronic illness in the world ever, especially here in the United States. And so it's important for mood control, immune response, your digestion and respiratory rate, hunger and elimination, your ability to digest food, right? So the pancreas produces enzymes, your gallbladder function. So all your autonomic nervous system functions, right? Your rest and digest functions. And so you can stimulate this by certain practices. And this is why I love Kundalini yoga, is because we do pretty much all of these, okay? You can go to a Kundalini class and whistle. We will sing or chant, okay? Humming, cold showers. We don't do that in class, but we do it as a practice. Putting your face in cold water is another one. So that feels so good. Adult thumb sucking. So you can take your thumb and you can rub the soft palate of your mouth. So every time you go to the bathroom, take your thumb, because the reason I say this is everybody's going to the bathroom multiple times a day, right? And so you can use that as a moment to like take your thumb and rub the upper palate, and that'll stimulate your vagus nerve. Gargling also does it. So you can gargle 1 to 1.5 minutes, two times a day. So morning and at night. Kissing, right? So that's why whistling activates the vagus nerve by whistling or kissing. And I like kissing so much because you can be tender with your kids and tender with your spouse or your partner, and that opens up your heart too, right? And that starts to release oxytocin, which is the love hormone, which has a lot of benefits too, and then breath work. And so this is a good segue into the closing, where we're going to do some breath work and a little bit of meditation here. So are there any questions before we go into that? Are you guys you're all doing pretty good with the cleanse? Are you excited about it? Yeah, thumbs up. Yay. Okay. All right, great. Okay, Carrie's
So
gonna
for
lead
those
us.
of you who need to leave, yeah, so for those of you who need to leave, it's 7:57. We are going to record this. However, I would love to take you through, we're going to just do 3 minutes of some nostril breathing. And then we are going to go into just a simple grounding heart coherence meditation. And both of these, the nostril breathing, Yogi Bhajan in the yogic tradition has said that a person who breathes through will go through the different nostrils. On the left nostril for 31 minutes a day for 90 days will naturally change their metabolism in favor of relaxation and weight loss. Amazing. And the reason behind this is the stimulation that happens on the left side of the body is one of the ways we can trigger the parasympathetic nervous system. So if your body is racing, if your mind is racing, breathing through the left side of the body and the nostril can be really, really helpful. And we're going to do both sides today. We're going to go through both sides. But if you are feeling as though you're having a racing mind and having a difficult time falling back asleep, then just breathing in, blocking the right nostril, breathing in the left side can be really supportive. We're going to start breathing on the right side and end on the left side to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. The other really powerful thing that this does is it actually disrupts feedback loops in the brain. So if you're ruminating, right, if those thoughts are racing, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I've done this with my daughter, and it is an incredibly powerful way because the brain is looking for a rhythmic pattern. And so doing this rhythmic pattern can disrupt the rhythmic pattern. It was the negative rhythmic pattern that was happening in your thoughts. Okay, you guys? So we're gonna start with some breathing. Let's just first, if you're sitting, go ahead and place your feet on the floor. I like sitting cross-legged in my seat. And go ahead and bring your hands to your thighs. Cats, can you go ahead and stop sharing screen, and then my picture might be able to come up too. I guess it's not necessary. There we go. Good. Awesome. We'll take a deep inhale. Bring your hands to your thighs, just feeling your thighs, rubbing your thighs. Bring your palms together. Start rubbing your palms together. Starting to come into the physical. Just pressing them gently. Bring your hands to your heart. Left hand over your heart, right hand on top. Starting to maybe deepen your inhales, lengthen your exhales. Bring your hands to your belly. As you inhale, feel the belly expand into the hands. And as you exhale, feel the belly draw back away from the hands to the spine. Try to breathe in through the nose, fill up your breath, feel the belly expand. And then as you exhale, draw the navel back to spine. A couple more times, just like that, allowing the diaphragm to expand, the belly to expand on the inhale. And as you exhale, draw the navel back to the spine. We're going to start taking your left thumb to your left nostril. Your fingers, your forefinger, middle finger, ring finger can go on your forehead, or just 2 fingers. You can either block your nostril with your ring finger or block it with your pinky, your opposite nostril. So we'll start with your thumb. You'll take a deep inhale in on the right side, fill up your belly.
I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see. It's like this.
And then block your right nostril and exhale left. Inhale in right. Block right, exhale out left. Breathe in, fill up the belly on right. Block right, exhale out left. Breathe in, fill up the belly. Block right, exhale out left. Breathe in, fill up. Block, exhale out left. Breathe in, fill up. Block, exhale out. Breathe in on the right. Breathe out on the left. Breathe in, fill up. Block, exhale out left. This time, breathe in both nostrils. Then hold and retain at the top. Try to remain relaxed, drawing the shoulders down, softening the tongue and the jaw. And exhale out. We'll now do the opposite side, bringing your thumb to the right nostril. You'll breathe in left nostril. Exhale out right nostril. Breathe in, fill up your belly. Block, exhale out right. Fill up, breathe in. Block, exhale out left. Breathe in, feel the belly expand with air. Exhale out right, navel to spine. Fill up, breathe in. Exhale out, navel to spine. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale left. Exhale out right. Breathe in. And breathe out. Fill up. Empty out. Breathing in left. Emptying out right. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in both nostrils. Hold and retain. Try to soften, surrender, and melt. And release. And keep your eyes closed. Just notice maybe what has shifted. How are you feeling physically? Is your mind slowed and more space between your thoughts? It's a great way to roll right into meditation. And start inhaling in through both nostrils and exhaling, allowing the breath in the chest to fall. I want you to imagine, envision, or feel just the bottoms of your feet. If you're sitting cross-legged, feeling your seat, your sits bones on the floor beneath you. Imagine it opening up the bottom of the feet, the base of the tailbone, the sits bones, and sending roots down into the earth beneath you. You're feeling the coolness of the earth beneath you. So imagine, feel, vision traveling down to the earth beneath you, maybe to the center of the earth, allowing your roots to spread in every direction. And with each exhale, allowing yourself to release and let go of any heaviness, sending the heaviness down through these roots. Send fatigue, aches and pains, maybe frustration or overwhelm. Any low end vibrations, sending them down into the earth, giving the earth the opportunity to transmute them. Just like plants taking carbon monoxide and changing them into oxygen. Now, as you inhale, envision drawing up this grounding, harmonizing, balancing energy from the earth. Up through your roots, up through your feet, or through your tailbone. Allowing it to balance, harmonize, and invigorate your body, every cell of your being. Really try to feel, connect with the feeling of drawing this energy up all the way to the crown of the head. On the exhales, releasing and surrendering any heaviness and any weight. You then envision a beautiful luminescent light swirling at the crown of our head. This light is a connection to something greater, universe, God, creator. We allow this light to start to melt like honey down over our physical body and down into the crown of our head, bathing every one of our cells. Unconditional love, gratitude, bliss, bringing harmony and balance. Feeling it travel all the way down to the tips of our feet. We take the energy from below, the energy from above, and have them meet at your heart. You bring your hands to your heart if that feels nourishing. Just keep them where they are. Start to breathe in to your heart. Breathe into the very back of your heart. Allowing these two energies and frequencies to connect. And I now want you to connect with a place, a time, a person, a memory, an experience that allowed you to feel so much love, so much bliss, so much gratitude, joy. Maybe a place. Now allow all three of these frequencies to start to radiate. Breathe in to that feeling, allowing it to expand outward in every direction. Filling your physical body, filling your energetic body, Now filling the space around you, physical space. Continue to breathe into the heart, allowing it to expand into this feeling. Continuing to breathe. And gently brush your thumb over each one of your fingertips. And sensation back into the body. Bring your palms together. Sense of heat. Bring your palms to your eyes. We'll infuse them with clarity of sight, being able to see the truth. Bring our hands to our ears, clarity of hearing, being able to hear the truth. Our hands to our heart, being able to feel the truth, feel the love that is present around us and within us at all times. We bring our thumbs to our brow. Gratitude and thanks for a connection to something greater. Connection within us and all around us. Connection to our own inner knowing. And we bow in gratitude. And gently flutter your eyes open. Thanks, you guys. That was longer than, of course, expected. Felt really powerful. I could feel myself. I could feel you guys. I'm just so eternally grateful. I'm so glad that you get to. We recorded this, so if you want to fast forward it and do this practice, where you get into heart coherence, all of this is about bringing you into a state of rest and digest. Bringing you into a state of turning off the sympathetic nervous system and turning on parasympathetic nervous system, so that our bodies can release toxins with ease, weight with ease, right? Low end vibrations and emotions with ease, all of it. Kat, you have anything else to add?
No, thank you very much. That was beautiful. Thanks for leading that. Yeah, I think you get access to both the recording and the audio, so you could fast forward to the meditation piece, or maybe I can download it and adjust it, and then we can upload it to the video section or something if you want that meditation. So, all right. Well, thank you, ladies.
And there's some variations on the nostril breathing as well. So.
Yeah, there's lots of variations on the nostril breathing, but in general, you can feel the quality. If you notice, like you can press the right side and just close your eyes and feel the quality of the inhale on the left side, and then close and feel the quality of the exhale. And you'll see, practice that. You'll see one is more stimulating than the other. One is moon energy and one is sun energy. So one is bright and vibrant, and one is more calming. Right. And so left nostril breathing is that more calming. You do it in the evening, right before you go to bed. So you just hold the right closed and you just inhale through the left, exhale through the right, or you can just do inhales and exhales through the left. And then if you need more invigorating, we'll go over this next week, but if you need more invigorating, go through the right side, and you'll feel the quality is just, it's brighter.
Yeah. Love it. Such an easy tool that you can use at any point during the day.
Yeah.
So go ahead and practice that. Practices, you guys. Pick one or two that really resonate. We don't expect you to do all of them. I mean, you can experiment with all of them, but pick one or two that really resonate with you, and try to do one in the morning and one in the evening, or try to sprinkle them into your day.
Yeah. When you get that you get that lull in the afternoon, you feel tired, listen to your body, go meditate for a little bit, do some breath work, just take a nap. Don't fight it, right? Listen to the body. The body's saying, hey, I need a break. So don't try to push through and work. Just go take a break. Maybe it's only 15 minutes. But that's what the body needs. So we're learning how to listen more. Okay.
Yes.
So
All right, you guys, we'll
All right,
see you
thank
next week.
you.
Thanks
One
so
more
much.
week.
Grateful to have you here.
okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
Bye.